Hi everyone. Today is a very interesting topic and one of my favorite topics for today. That is mental balance page. Well, mental balance page is present in all our Healys, and I feel is one of the most required program page that must be used by all of us. The program page, I would like to call it as versatile in nature, just as the goal cycle page. I would like to call it versatile because of its deep rooted impact that the program page can bring for us. Now, why is mental balance page something that I would like to suggest for all of us, irrespective of whatever situation we are in? Here is my 2 cents on it today. We came into this world with extremely pure and clear mind and intentions. So when a child is born, there are no layers. Everything is very black and white in the mind. The gray matter, when I say the gray matter is the area full of if, buts, a lot of arguments, conflicts, a lot of analysis, a lot of negative thoughts, a lot of disconnections and blockages. So when a baby is born, a child is born, everything is very black and white. When I say everything is black and white, it means it is pure, it is clear, there is clear mind, and it is a place where we are totally connected with our inner wisdom. But as we grow, what happens is that as we grow, and you know that we are surrounded with the adults. Aura is constantly something that interacts with one another. So as we grow, we pick up fears and limitations from the adults around us. And by the time we reach the adulthood, and by the time we are adults ourselves, no more children, there is no more black and white, there is a lot of gray matter. By the time we are adults, we have a lot of negative beliefs. By the time we are adults, we have a lot of blockages that we ourselves may not be aware of. And unfortunately and sadly, we tend to build our lives. We tend to construct our lives and our experiences upon these false beliefs. We tend to construct our life, our journeys, our choices based on these different blockages that are inside our system. Some of these blockages are borrowed, some of these blockages or negative thought patterns are learned, and some of it are acquired. In this journey of life, we acquire some, learn some, borrow some, adapt to some. However, there are two major segments in this area, and that is acute and chronic. In our journey of life, there are certain experiences or certain negative thought patterns that are quite in the moment right now. And then there are some that we have been carry forwarding from quite a lot of time, that is so many years ago. So as a child is born and he is surrounded with adults, there is a lot of monkey see, monkey do. You go through experiences of your own. You borrow some experiences of others. And in the process, you accumulate some. The ones that you accumulate, somehow we do not have a tendency of letting go. We are all hoarders of various different acquired information, which is most of the times unwanted. We are holders of this energy, and this energy, when we enter the adulthood, you can call it as blockages, You can call it as traumas. You can also call it as inner child traumas. So today's session is a very, very important session because I feel we all go through similar patterns. We go through similar patterns of beliefs, disbeliefs, and yes, there are variations to it. No individual is same, but our journey of adaptation and adoption often can be similar and yet unique. And that is why this page today, the mental balance page, promotes not just mental balance, it promotes inner well being. So, today's session is about using the mental balance page to its optimal level, making the most out of the mental balance page. And later, we will also check out that when the issues are chronic, why should you use the creative homeopathy? It's a database that is present in your Heal Advisor Analyze app, that is your blue app. So, why should you be using the creative homeopathy? What does it do for you? And how does it promote inner well being? Okay. So, the mental balance page consists of some programs that are extremely versatile in nature and some are extremely specific. But the practical question here is, when is it a good time to use these programs? Quite many times we have gone through a mental balance session in the training with me on various different Wednesdays. So the question I ask is, when do you think it is a good time to use this page? Before you answer, let me answer it for you. It is a good time to use the mental balance page when you are feeling uncertain and confused. But like I said, it's a versatile page, so this can't be it. Mental balance page, it is also a good time to use when there are difficulties in making decisions, when you are unable to express, or you are unable to speak what you actually don't like. Or let's say when something is hurting and you are suppressing that emotion. It is a good time to use the mental balance page when you are feeling emotionally blocked or unavailable. Your response to a certain situation needs to be in a certain manner. However, it is blocked and you are not able to feel things correctly or respond to them efficiently. Now, it is also a good time to use the mental balance page when there is low self confidence, too many doubts, or you are unsure and insecure. You are confused about which pathway that you should be taking. It is a good time to use the mental balance page also when you are struggling with dependence on nicotine. Something, if you are in a situation where you feel it is something you cannot live without, you know it is a good time to use the mental balance page. It is also a good time to use the mental balance page when you want to start a new habit, get out of the never ending loop. And it is the best time to use mental balance page when you want to work with emotional traumas and blockages. So be confusion, feelings of lost, unclear feelings, disoriented behavior, bewildered, irrespective, mental balance page is the solution for you. It has these beautiful programs we have 8 beautiful programs on this page: inner strength system, emotional well-being, feel good system, contentment acute, inner unity, well-being soul, and mental balance acute. There are 2 primary ways in which you use programs present on this page. That is with the ear clip electrodes and the bracelet electrodes. We know that the ear clip electrodes works on stimulating certain brain waves. When certain brain waves are out of range, that is when you can say there are chances of various different imbalances. So you have alpha, beta, delta, gamma, and theta. But when you know that cranial stimulation, in fact, we spoke a lot about the ear clip electrodes in our previous session, and I'm just going to quickly repeat it. So what does the ear clip electrodes do? The ear clip electrodes works on promoting and increasing, or you can say it works on influencing and relaxing the mind. How does it do that? It does that by promoting the alpha range. It works on relaxing and bringing the delta and the beta back to its range, and it promotes the alpha range. That is where the magic happens. That is how the relaxation gets promoted. All the programs that we see with your clip electrodes on Healy are actually different programs. Though sometimes you may see similar frequencies, but inside of it, it uses different signal forms. For example, a zero point 0.5 hertz. In certain programs, you are seeing that it's zero point 0.5 hertz or zero point 0.7 hertz, for example. Okay. And you will see that the throbbing is different. What you feel on your ear, the mild vibration is different. In certain cases, it may be smooth. In certain cases, it may come on and go off. The timings of it and the signal forms are quite different. The programs are different and they're stimulating and promoting the alpha range in with different signal forms. They are all different. So it is extremely important to understand what the ear clip electrode programs can do for you. They are extremely useful, effective, provide quick solution. They are good to go. They are just for 20 minutes. They are extremely easy to use, must be used at a lower voltage. We then have some other programs present on the mental balance page that need to be used with the bracelet electrodes. And then you sign, do you see a sign here? Do you see a small sign here? So programs that have these signs are the programs that can be also be used with the coil. So it is up to you whether you want to use it with a coil or the bracelet. But you know me, I'm always suggesting that you go with the bracelet electrodes for more effectivity, for more efficient give and take with frequencies. And the other programs that do not have the sign of this, for example, this does not have this sign, it automatically means that these programs are to be used with the ear clip electrodes and they cannot be used with the coil or, well, with the bracelet also. So we have 8 beautiful programs spread out on this page. Let's go one by one and quickly go through when should you be using this program. So the first program is called the Inner Strength Program. In situations where you are uncertain, your confidence level is sort of hampered, you are insecure. A person that is a human being can be insecure about multiple things in life. Insecurity about job, presentations, performance, communication, relationships. You can be uncertain and insecure about multiple different things. So the Inner Strength Program is a beautiful program that supports positive emotions and different mental states. It promotes and brings about a optimistic behavior in a person. It helps you stay positive even in hard situation. So when does a person feel uncertain and insecure? It is easy to feel uncertain and insecure when you feel that the situation is hard. Now, even a small child can feel uncertain and insecure. How? Because of friendships, because of competitiveness, or let's say not, you are very uncertain about remembering the correct answers for a certain subject during the examination. You are uncertain about your performance. You are uncertain about your skill set. On a day-to-day basis, you are very certain because you feel you are an expert at something. But on certain days when you are low, when your health is low, when, let's say, your aura is slightly weak, or past blockages are highlighted and have come up very strongly, it is easy to feel uncertain. So when you are uncertain, automatically you start looking at the situation and the environment as a hard and difficult situation. So the inner strength system program helps you create and get in touch with the positive side of you by promoting the positive thoughts. On a normal day, if I ask you to start thinking positively and flip your thought, chances are you may be able to do it for 5 seconds, and on the 6th second your mind will waver off and you will find it difficult to do this. So the inner strength system program does just this for you in a very, very short time. It helps you create a positive thought without having to do conscious mental efforts. It's an effortless program and a must use on your day-to-day basis also. So if you find yourself often confused, perplexed, insecure, uncertain, where your self-confidence is hampered, this program is for you. This program not just increases your chance to solve the problem, but it also promotes clarity of mind. Thus, it will help you find answers in any hard situation. It is also a great program to feel one with yourself. It is a great program to feel inspired and get better ideas. It is a great program that helps you feel good about your own self. So use this program to peep inside, give yourself strength from the inside. The next program is called as the Emotional Wellbeing Program. This is a beautiful, beautiful program, a all-rounder program, and a very, 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 very holistic program and a complementary program. The Emotional Wellbeing Program is when you want to stimulate your emotional blockages from inside. On day-to-day basis, we may go through multitude of emotions. जैसे कि for example गुस्सा आ जाना, feeling angry, feeling mental irritation, went to the shop but you just looked at the staff is not there and you are angry. You are in the office, there is a mistake that is done by somebody, you are angry. You are in the traffic and the biker crossed you pretty badly, you are angry. These are acute emotions. Okay, these are acute emotions. To deal with these emotions, you may use the Being program from your Gold Cycle page. If anger is an issue, you will use the Being program. But if you're entirely full of anger, when you ask people around you, how is my anger? They are the right people that will tell you how your anger actually is. So your family is the correct person to tell you. So if they help you understand, or you are able to help recognize this pattern, that your anger is not just about now, but there is a lot of pent up anger, there is a lot of pent up frustration inside, then you know you need something more than the Being program. You need an entire emotional well-being program which is present on your mental balance page. So when you're emotionally blocked, extreme fear, fatigue, depression, overreaction, you use the mental well-being program. If you are already using the anxiety or the depression program from the pain page, you know that emotional well-being needs to be your third program to use. If you find yourself often in a situation where there is quite often poor decision making, you know emotional well-being is the solution, because there could be some underlying trauma that is, or underlying blockages, that is causing this kind of outcome. If you observe yourself closely, you will realize that often there could be instances where you are self-sabotaging. What does self-sabotage mean? Self-sabotaging means many things in different ways, but to put it very easy, maybe situations around you make you feel extremely overwhelmed and you go on walking on your own emotion, your own happiness, and you often ruin the opportunity or the love that comes towards you. And you throw away things under the bus often. So that could mean self-sabotaging. So if that is the situation, you know emotional well-being is the program for you. So the emotional well-being page helps you confront with your emotions. Emotional well-being page helps you resolve your unresolved emotions and helps you let go of it from the inside of it. So when it is depression and anxiety, you can use the emotional well-being for it. But when it is your day-to-day life, when it is your day-to-day emotional imbalances, you can use the being program from the goal cycle page. Okay, is this difference clear to everybody? The difference in emotional well-being and the being program. Okay, it's very, very easy to use, very, very effective, very simple to understand. That when you are using the being program, you can use it for your acute situations, for your day-to-day life. But if there are deep-rooted emotions, there are deep-rooted blockages, the emotional well-being is a absolutely amazing program to use. It is to be used with the bracelet electrodes. Now, moving on to the next one, we have the feel good system program. The feel good system program is to energetically activate your body when you are feeling down. Okay. Now, when you are going through weakness or when you are not feeling at the pink of your health, chances are you don't feel good about yourself. So when should you use this program is the question. You should use this program if you do not feel good about yourself, when you feel down, when you feel there is low confidence, when you feel situations are heavier, but when there is no uncertainty but the confidence is low. Feel good system is a great program to use. It helps you become a better version of yourself. It raises your vibration pattern and thus improves communication and relationships. It's a great program to use when there is an imbalance with your spouse or in any kind of relationship. It is a great program to use because sometimes if you see closely in your life or if you go back to your life situations, you will see it's not often that people around you can make you feel uncertain, but what is it that people around you can actually make you feel? They can actually hurt you because you give them the power to hurt you emotionally. So when they hurt you emotionally, chances are there can be low confidence and you feel down. So when you feel down, the feel good system is an absolute program for you. Now life is busy and life is hectic and contentment system program is an absolute win-win program for you. Too much working, overtime, no no gap or no balance or lack of balance between work life and professional life. Contentment system is a good program to use. There's a very thin line that needs to be drawn between underdoing and overdoing. And if you think that line, or if your family feels that that line is absent, contentment system is a great program for you. So for personal and professional balance, you can use the contentment system. So if you need to slow down, you can use the contentment system. If you need to pause, you can use the contentment system. Or if you just want to take a bow and appreciate yourself, pat your back, or if you feel you criticize yourself too much, you can use the contentment system program. It will help you gain an inner sense of contentment. So it is important to take a break, and if you can't, you use the contentment system program. Often, when you come back from work, it is difficult for the mind to relax. You can use the relax program from the goal cycle with the contentment system program. Or you can also just use the contentment system program to give a pat on your back and tell yourself hey, you did well. So this is a great program to use in all these situations. It is the excellent program to use for children that are studying also, or for children engaging in competitive sports. This is a great program to use for contentment. The next program is called Contentment Acute. This is a ear clip electrode program. We have a system program here. This is a hand bracelet electrode, and acute is a ear clip electrode program. These are similar names, but they do different things and they are for different things. They are to be also used differently with different electrodes. The Contentment Acute program is for nicotine dependence. It supports your journey during the recovery from nicotine dependency. So it is not a smoking cessation program, but it is a program that helps and supports you in your journey of withdrawal. How do you use it? You use it with the ear clip electrodes, intensity not more than 30. You can also use it at 50, 15, 1, 5, 0 problems. The minute you start feeling light tingling sensation in your ear, this is when you need to know that the intensity is high for you and you can reduce the intensity. It's a 20-minute program. It is short and sweet. Hence, the duration of it will also be 20 minutes. When and how much should you use it? 3 times a week, up to 6 sessions. Okay. So 3 times a week means around continue it for 2 weeks. Okay. Alternate days is the way you will use this program. There's a great program to use for recovery from dependence of nicotine. Often, when you constantly feel not content or you constantly feel challenged, you may start finding happiness on something outside, and that could be smoking. So, this is not for alcohol, but this is for nicotine dependency recovery only. We then have the Inner Unity program. On a fast day, on a busy day, there are multiple things happening inside us. One part of your brain is asking you to do A activity, B is asking you to write, C is asking you to read, D is asking you to email, F is asking you to answer the calls. So there are so many things happening at the same time, and it can help one person feel very easily that they are broken, or well, they are divided into parts on a single day. Let's say if your one single day is like that, it can leave you feeling divided into parts. It can leave you feeling kya kiya jaye. It can help you feeling torn apart. But when you have multiple days feeling not content, when you have multiple days feeling not content, then Inner Unity is a program that you should be using. We have a program called as the Contentment System program. This is a program to be used when you have one day of feeling discontent. But if you have days of feeling discontent, where it's been multiple days and you have felt a huge torn apart, or you strongly feel broken or divided into multiple parts, you feel that your body, mind, and soul are not aligned. You don't feel gathered inside. That is the time Inner Unity is an amazing, beautiful program to use. When are the situations where you can make use of Inner Unity practically in your life? So it is easy for a person to feel broken or disturbed from inside at various levels when they are going through a sickness, when they are going through multiple different stressful situations at the same time. Let's say today is the result of your child. At the same time, today is also a day when you received a very, very harsh email from the office. And plus, today is the day you had a dispute with the spouse. How is this going to make the person feel? It's obviously going to make the person feel divided into parts. So here you know Inner Unity is the program for you. The solution to everything first is to first heal. For the healing to happen and for the healing to take place, it is important for the pain to go. It is important to stop feeling that you are divided and broken in multiple parts. So, Inner Unity is that program that helps you pick up the pieces that have fallen on the floor. It helps you pick back yourself up. Bring yourself back. And once you have brought yourself back, you are now ready to think better, focus better, learn more, and do more. So, Inner Unity is a program for everybody on your tough days or on multiple days when you have been feeling all the days are extremely tough with physical pain which cannot be borne. If you are going through immense physical pain, Inner Unity is a great program to first and foremost create a basic energetic harmonization of the sense of psychic wholeness. So it starts not at the physical level, but feeling whole starts at the mental level. So this is what this program does for you. We then have the Wellbeing Soul program. It is a program that helps you create new habits. Often, getting out of a certain habit is extremely difficult. As much as creating a habit is difficult, getting out of the habit is also difficult. The Wellbeing Soul program helps you in both these situations, that is, to create a new habit and to get out of the old habit. Okay, something that has become a very strong part of your routine. You are obviously very attached with it because it has become like a compulsive habit that you are constantly doing. So, Wellbeing Soul is a great program to use for that. Wellbeing Soul is a beautiful program to use for the habits that you want to change. Habits like, for example, habits that you would like to change is, for example, going for walks, eating healthy food, not speaking in a certain way, to be able to stand up for yourself, not getting bullied by people around you. Okay, all these things, if that has become a part of your routine, Wellbeing Soul is the correct program for you. And then there are certain habits that you wish to absolutely discontinue, like let's say certain kind of substance abuse or alcohol addictions, or certain and things that you cannot control yourself from going doing, and it is nothing to be proud about, but you want to entirely put an end to it. Then Wellbeing Soul is a beautiful program to use for that. It is to be used with the bracelet electrodes. We then have the ear clip electrode program called as the mental balance acute. It is to be used with the ear clip electrodes. It is for supporting positive thinking. It is applied for well-being, phobias, and fears. So if you have already tried something for your fear and if that has not worked for you, you know you need something more. And that more is the mental balance acute program. It helps you attract more positive thoughts. It changes the brain waves. It enhances and promotes the alpha state of mind. It is to be used with the ear clip. Do not increase the intensity beyond 30%. You can also use it at 15% or 10% or 5% also. That is fine. Just look out for the message on the screen. Duration is 20 minutes because the program well is only for 20 minutes. Repeat it daily at first. Repeat this program daily at first and later every 2 days or once in a week, and slowly stop using this program. This is exactly how you use this program. It helps you get back your sparkle back. It's a great program to use. Now, when do you know that you need to work with creative homeopathy, and what is creative homeopathy? So, creative homeopathy was created by Anthony Pepler. Now, Anthony Pepler is a homeopath, and in her journey, she understood and found that major issues that a person goes through are they always have deeper connections in the body. Today's suffering is not just because of today, but today's suffering is very strongly connected with the suffering of the past. So it becomes extremely important to start from the past. And having said that, the suffering is not static, but it is very dynamic in nature. Over the years, as we have grown from being a child to an adult, we have gained, copied, adopted to a lot of experiences from around us, from our journey, and from other adults. All of these experiences together are sort of interconnected in our system. It is difficult to just work on one because often it is not impossible to work on one, but it is always better to work on all of it together. because life is difficult. Life situations are interconnected. Therefore, several homeopathy remedies that are a part of creative homeopathy database. When you use it in your Blue app, you will see that it is suggesting several homeopathy remedies, and you may feel which one is the correct one to take. So the answer to that is that when you are using it in your Blue app, you need to give multiple entries at the same time. You need to use multiple remedies together in one list. So never remove the other remedies which are at a lower percentage. Let them be, because you never know, it could be related with another situation. The person suffering is very, very dynamic in nature. There could be various different reasons for this. So for example, a traumatic childhood. As a result, the person is very, very um, fearful about their relationships, is extremely guarded towards their current relationship. It's difficult for them to entirely trust the new relationships or the existing people. Now, this situation, if you see closely, is not just because of today. It is not just because the person, let's say, got cheated 5 years ago, but it is about what happened 10 to 15 years ago also. So, all the experiences that he has gained through this life journey and through meeting other adults in his life, together combined, you need to address all these issues. So, it is very important that you give multiple dosages to resolve a certain complex situation. Instead of working on just one situation or issue, it is always better to work on multiple, because sometimes when you are working just on one complex issue, you may end up triggering the other issue of the person. So it is important to always work with multiple databases. Hence, use several databases together. And because Healy understands that the suffering is dynamic, Healy gives a dynamic solution by offering more than one remedy for it. So the easiest way to decide whether you should be using creative homeopathy is when you can ask yourself these questions. So, the first question that you need to ask yourself is, what is the life situation today? Or if you're working with a client, then in that case, you will ask the client, or you can ask the client to ask themselves, what is the life situation of the client like today? So, let's say the life situation of the client is feeling extremely fearful about the partner. So the next question is, how did it come about? Or in a simpler words, it means, where did it come from? That needs to be your second question. Where did this emotion come from? So if the partner, if the person, or if you are giving the answer that it has come from a deep-rooted issue in the past, you know you need the creative homeopathy database. But if they don't know, then the next question is it easy for you to feel what you are feeling? Which means, is not feeling trustworthy something that happens to you often, or it is just a one off situation? If the answer is it is a long term situation or an issue, you know you need to work with creative homeopathy. You know, creative homeopathy is just what you need to use along with the mental balance page programs. So, all you have to do is ask these questions to you, ask these questions to your client, or if you are making a list on behalf of a certain family member, then you can ask these questions to yourselves for the family member. That what is the life situation today? Let's say, for example, a mother daughter or a father and daughter communication issue, where let's say maybe the child is blaming the mother, for example. Okay, then in that case, you know this is your life situation where the child is blaming the mother. But as a result, what is the situation today for the mother? The situation today for the mother is that the mother may feel guilty. The mother may feel have may have questions in the mind. Have I not raised the child correctly? Okay, so if this is the question, then you need to ask yourself, how did this question come by? So the answer to that is that issues with the daughter are causing these emotions. And the next question that you need to ask is, if this is unresolved, where is this going to reach? Can you handle this entirely on your own? The answer to that is no. You know you need creative homeopathy. So situations are often interconnected, they are often complex, and when there are issues where there is unnecessary suffering, you know this is something you need to use. There are certain situations that you can use creative homeopathy are, for example, not able to take action, constantly feeling revenge, or self-generated pressure. What is self-generated pressure? Self-generated pressure means ये तो करना ही है, that kind of pressure. In that case also, you know that you need to work with creative homeopathy. Would you like to know more such situations? Then I can just tell you these situations. Would you like to know more of these situations? And I will quickly share some more situations with you. Or we will then go on to moving ahead. Would you like to know more such situations where you can use creative homeopathy? Okay, so you can use creative homeopathy. Further going ahead with, for example, if you are working towards achieving a goal, but achieving a goal has become an urgency, and you're rushing towards achieving your goal, and you're that it's because of a certain past trauma, then creative homeopathy is for you. If it's about survival, if you feel something has come on your survival, कि ये नहीं किया तो मतलब कुछ बहुत बड़ा हो जाएगा, then you know creative homeopathy is for you. If you feel that a person has been is in a situation where their personality development is entirely blocked, they are pretty much trapped into their emotions, then you know this is a good database to use for them. You can also use it for preventing bad personality development from happening. You can also prevent feelings of feeling like a loser or denying one's potential. It can also be used for removing suffering. If a person, or for example, children are rebellious in nature. So if children are rebellious in nature, you know creative homeopathy is excellent for them. You can also go on to using it for, let's say you have lost a battle, okay, and आपको अंदर से लगता है इसके आगे तो कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता, and you feel like a loser from inside, or you feel this is a never ending fight. Creative homeopathy is for you. If there is a chronic illness like cancer or some other suffering जो सालों साल चलता रहेगा and आपको उसको treat करना ही पड़ेगा, or an autoimmune disorder, then creative homeopathy is the right thing for you. You can also use creative homeopathy to avoid further suffering. Okay, you can also use it to develop your personality in a different manner. Well, creative homeopathy is also very useful for people that are following wrong kind of people, are ambivalent in nature, are confused about whether right karna hai ya left karna hai, are following the wrong kind of people, then you know this is a great database to use. For inner lack of stability, for insecurity, for feeling lonely, for working with spiritual issues beyond time and space, you can also use the creative homeopathy. For feeling psychic wholeness, you can use the inner unity program along with the creative homeopathy. If inner unity has been a challenge for you for a very long time, then you need to use the support of creative homeopathy along with the inner unity on the mental balance page. For unreflective transference, for aggression, for anger, for difficulty to adapt to different situations, for lack of basic trust, for insecurity, for desperate struggle to get recognition from others. If the struggle has constantly been about getting recognition with other people in the group, then this is a great database to use. For identity conflict, who am I? Or let's say mother child related issues or traumatic event, or unable to find a role model figure, and very conflicting around whether the father is a role model or the mother is a role model. Creative homeopathy is for you. If the growth is getting hindered, or for example you're not able to recognize yourself anymore, there is a shock or a trauma, not able to vocalize how you are feeling, a lack of self esteem, self doubt, you can use the creative homeopathy. If you want to be able to speak up, then you can use this database. If you want to feel proud about what you are speaking, means you don't want to feel pressured when you are speaking, but you need to feel self-worth when you are speaking. This is a great database to use. To enhance kindness and dissolve anger, to get rid of the pent-up suppressed emotions and anger, to get rid of the stress patterns, to feel less exploited, to get rid of the discarded emotions. According to you, let's say you have discarded the emotion, but it is somewhere in the pipeline. This is a great database to use. If you hate yourself and you cannot stand yourself, this is a beautiful database to create and build a relationship with yourself. For resignations, for life demands, for parenthood, for adulthood, for children who play sports, for children that are studying, for children that are very naughty, for children with behavioral issues, for children with self confidence issues, children with traumatic history, children with children that need to learn to be able to stand up for themselves, to give extra support to people, and for the community. Creative homeopathy is an excellent program page to use. It is so amazing that you can combine it very easily with all the 8 different mental balance page. Now, why should you use the combination of both of these? Well, you should use a combination of both of these because they actually do different things for you. Okay, they use different things for you. How do they do the different things for you? This is how they do it. The bracelet electrode program works with microcurrent frequency. You know already that microcurrent frequency will work at the cellular balancing, whereas the ear clip electrode program will work with the brain waves. So where does the blue app work? The blue app will work on your consciousness. The blue app will work on the information that is carried by the electrons. So it will work on your consciousness patterns. It will work on the consciousness of your organs. It will work on getting rid of the psychosomatic reasons for your suffering to happen. And as human beings and as adults, we have gathered a lot of negative experiences on our way. So, for any emotional, mental, physical issues or spiritual imbalances, creative homeopathy is a must add program. So, I will recommend creative homeopathy usage. As you create a list, first step will be to connect your Healy to the phone. The second step is to create a profile for you. If your profile is already created, move on to just using your existing profile. Go to resonance analysis. Under resonance, go to resonance databases. Under resonance databases, you will see, when inside it, you will see something called as the creative homeopathy. It is a 300 plus entry based database. Hence, creating a list can take about few seconds, but it is entirely worth it. Give it that time that it needs. Create a list for yourself. Let that list stay with you actively for around 10 days or around 1 week. So 1 week to 10 days, utilize the same list. Only when you send multiple dosages of creative homeopathy entries and information, this is information field, right? So when you send multiple times creative homeopathy based information into the information field of the client using quantum entanglement, that is when you can say that the blockages can get resolved. So during that 1 week, you can use it twice a day, and you can use the timing of 12 minutes of vibration. So vibrate it twice a day for 12 minutes each. Continue the same list for over 1 week, and then you can go on to creating an absolutely new list. So with any program that you are using on Healy, creative homeopathy is a great list to add. You don't have to go on creating this multiple times. आपने एक बार बनाकर उसको रख दिया, just keep on repeating it multiple times. So creative homeopathy is not there out there just to support you. Pick up your pieces, but it is there to actually build you. It's a great module, it's a great database to use. It's a great database that you can beautifully combine with any program from the mental balance page. You can also combine it beautifully with the anxiety and the depression. Personally, I combine my creative homeopathy with all the pages that I use, with the bracelet and the ear clip and the adhesives. You can also combine your creative homeopathy with your mag Healy also. On this note, I'm open to questions. So if you have any questions, please share it with me on the chat.